Welcome back to Sleepy English Academy. Today, we'll be learning English through audio listening. So, get comfortable and close your eyes.
In a cozy burrow beneath a snoring bear, lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Unlike his bright siblings who blazed with vibrant light, Flicker's glow was a soft, sleepy shimmer. He dreamt of joining their nighttime adventures, illuminating hidden paths and playing tag with the stars, but worried his gentle light wouldn't be enough to chase away the shadows. His best friend was Ms. Moonbeam, a wise old ray of moonlight with a silvery glow and a heart overflowing with stories whispered by the wind and the rustling of leaves. Ms. Moonbeam wasn't just any moonbeam. She was the keeper of hidden strength, reminding everyone that even the sleepiest light could hold immense power. One particularly gloomy night, an unsettling darkness settled over the vibrant forest. The usual symphony of chirping crickets and hooting owls was replaced by an atmosphere of drooping flowers and frightened animals hiding in their dens. Ms. Moonbeam explained a grumpy old cloud named Nimbus had arrived. Nimbus, with a permanent frown and a rumbling voice, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of a starry night and the calming comfort of firefly light from all the creatures. Left feeling scared and jittery, they forgot the wonder of constellations twinkling in the darkness, the mesmerizing dance of fireflies' light, and the sense of peace that came with a quiet night under the moon. Flicker, though his light was sleepy, couldn't bear a world devoid of the fireflies' dazzling display and the breathtaking sight of a starlit sky. He volunteered to find Nimbus in the land of lost wonder. Ms. Moonbeam, with a gentle shimmer, gifted him a single, shimmering raindrop. It wasn't just any raindrop. It held the essence of 1,000 moonlit nights, filled with the soft glow of fireflies, the gentle hoot of an owl, and the breathtaking sight of a meteor streaking across the sky. Armed with this special raindrop and a pouch Ms. Moonbeam had prepared, filled with shimmering dewdrops, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical night, Flicker embarked on his brave journey. He fluttered slowly through the forest, his light a gentle whisper against the darkness. He met rabbits with quivering noses and owls with wide, worried eyes. They spoke of a time when darkness meant gazing at constellations, watching fireflies weave patterns, and feeling a sense of calm settle over the world. Their faces were etched with a longing for the magic of fireflies' light again, the soft chirping of crickets, and the twinkling tapestry of stars. Flicker, despite his sleepy glow, offered a comforting twinkle, remembering Ms. Moonbeam's words, "Even the sleepiest light can hold immense power." Finally, he reached a shadowy cave, Nimbus' lair. Inside, a large, grumpy cloud with a scowl guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Flicker bravely fluttered forward, nudging Nimbus with his tiny body. Confused and lonely, Nimbus confessed. He yearned to protect creatures from the unknown dangers of the night, but forgot the calming beauty of a starlit sky, the mesmerizing dance of fireflies' light, and the sense of peace that came with quiet moments under the moon. Flicker, using forgotten patterns etched on his tiny body, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a sleepy bear cuddling under the moonlight, a symbol of the importance of feeling safe at night. Nimbus, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Flicker held Ms. Moonbeam's shimmering raindrop close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of magic. Forgotten memories of twinkling stars, fireflies dancing, and the soft glow of the moon swirled around the creatures. Their fear melted away, replaced by a yearning for the quiet beauty of the night and a desire to appreciate its wonders. A gentle moonlight bathed the forest, whispering promises of starry nights and firefly dances. Ms. Moonbeam, watching from afar, saw creatures emerge from their hiding places, their eyes filled with wonder. She knew Flicker, the sleepy firefly, had found his purpose. Flicker's gentle light, though seemingly insignificant, became a symbol of the importance of shining your own light, no matter how soft or sleepy. He learned that strength wasn't about being the brightest, but about bringing your own unique glow to the world, guiding others through the darkness, and sharing the magic of a quiet night, one sleepy twinkle at a time. My dear listener, I am new to YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
In a vibrant coral reef teeming with colorful fish, lived a tiny hermit crab named Shelley. Unlike his adventurous siblings who swapped shells like apartments, Shelley clung tightly to his oversized, clunky home. He dreamt of joining their daring explorations of shipwrecks and playful races through coral tunnels, but worried his cumbersome shell would slow them down. His best friend was Mr. Seahorse, a wise old seahorse with a swaying body and a heart overflowing with stories whispered by the gentle current and the playful clicks of dolphins. Mr. Seahorse wasn't just any seahorse. He was the keeper of hidden courage, reminding everyone that even the shyest creature could possess a brave heart. One particularly quiet day, a heavy stillness settled over the vibrant coral reef. The usual symphony of clicking coral and playful fish chases was replaced by an atmosphere of drooping seaweed and abandoned sandcastles. Mr. Seahorse explained a grumpy old pufferfish named Puffy had arrived. Puffy, with a constantly inflated body and a booming voice, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of exploration and the thrill of adventure from all the creatures. Left feeling cautious and afraid, they forgot the excitement of discovering hidden treasures in shipwrecks, the playful races through the coral maze, and the sense of wonder that came with venturing beyond the familiar reef. Shelley, though he clung to his shell, couldn't bear a world devoid of exciting adventures and the thrill of exploring the unknown. He volunteered to find Puffy in the land of lost wonder. Mr. Seahorse, with a gentle click of his tail, gifted him a single, shimmering pearl. It wasn't just any pearl, it held the essence of 1,000 underwater adventures, filled with the whoosh of hermit crabs changing shells, the playful chase through anemone forests, and the breathtaking sight of a majestic shark gliding by. Armed with this special pearl and a pouch Mr. Seahorse had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of coral, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical underwater adventure, Shelley embarked on his cautious journey. He inched slowly along the seabed, his oversized shell making him feel awkward and exposed. He met shy eels peeking from coral crevices and timid clams tucked deep inside their shells. They spoke of a time when exploring meant venturing into the unknown, finding the perfect seashell home, and experiencing the thrill of discovery. Their faces were etched with a longing for the excitement of exploration again, the playful nudges as they changed shells, and the wonder of hidden treasures. Shelley, despite his clingy nature, offered a hesitant peek from his shell, remembering Mr. Seahorse's words, "Even the shyest creature can possess a brave heart." Finally, he reached a sunken treasure chest, Puffy's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy pufferfish with a permanent pout guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Shelley bravely, well, as bravely as a shy hermit crab could, poked his head out of his shell and tapped Puffy with his tiny claw. Confused and lonely, Puffy confessed. He yearned to protect creatures from the dangers of the deep and the unknown, but forgot the beauty of exploration, the thrill of discovery, and the sense of adventure that came with venturing beyond the familiar. Shelley, using forgotten patterns etched on the inside of his shell, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a group of different-sized fish exploring a shipwreck together, a symbol of the importance of exploring together. Puffy, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Shelley held Mr. Seahorse's shimmering pearl close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of excitement. Forgotten memories of hidden treasures, playful races, and the thrill of exploring the unknown swirled around the creatures. Their fear melted away, replaced by a yearning for adventure and a desire to explore the vast ocean. A shaft of sunlight streamed through the water, whispering promises of hidden shipwrecks and exciting discoveries. Mr. Seahorse, watching from afar, saw fish of all shapes and sizes swimming together, their faces filled with a newfound joy. He knew Shelley, the clingy crab, had found his purpose. Shelley's oversized shell, though seemingly a burden, became a symbol of the courage it takes to step outside your comfort zone. He learned that adventure wasn't about being the fastest or the bravest, but about taking that first tentative step, finding the joy in the journey, and exploring the wonders of the world, one cautious peek at a time.
In a bustling butterfly garden filled with vibrant wings, lived a tiny caterpillar named Pip. Unlike his faster friends who gracefully fluttered from flower to flower, Pip was a slow, inching creature with a plump, green body. He dreamt of joining their colorful dances in the sunlight and sipping nectar from the sweetest blooms, but worried his clumsy crawl would disrupt the perfect display. His best friend was Miss Spider, a wise old spider with a shimmering web and a heart brimming with stories whispered by the buzzing bees and the gentle swaying of leaves. Miss Spider wasn't just any spider, she was the keeper of hidden beauty, reminding everyone that even the simplest creature could transform into something extraordinary. One particularly gloomy day, an unsettling quiet settled over the vibrant butterfly garden. The usual symphony of buzzing bees and fluttering wings was replaced by an atmosphere of drooping flowers and wilting leaves. Miss Spider explained a grumpy old cocoon named Shelby had arrived. Shelby, with a permanently closed shell and a croaky voice, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of transformation and the joy of becoming a butterfly from all the caterpillars. Left feeling plain and insignificant, they forgot the wonder of spinning their cozy cocoons, the magical transformation within, and the breathtaking sight of a butterfly emerging with colorful wings. Pip, though slow and clumsy, couldn't bear a world devoid of the butterfly's dazzling colors and the joy of witnessing transformation. He volunteered to find Shelby in the land of lost wonder. Miss Spider, with a gentle tap of her web, gifted him a single, shimmering raindrop. It wasn't just any raindrop, it held the essence of 1,000 transformations, filled with the slow crawl of a caterpillar, the delicate spinning of a cocoon, and the breathtaking sight of a butterfly spreading its wings for the first time. Armed with this special raindrop and a pouch Miss Spider had prepared, filled with shimmering pollen grains, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical transformation, Pip embarked on his determined journey. He inched slowly across leaves, his short legs working overtime. He met caterpillars with drooping heads and folded bodies. They spoke of a time when transformation meant spinning a cozy cocoon, feeling the change within, and emerging as a beautiful butterfly to explore the world. Their faces were etched with a longing for the wonder of metamorphosis again, the feeling of their wings unfolding, and the joy of sipping nectar from blooming flowers. Pip, despite his slow crawl, offered a hopeful wiggle, remembering Miss Spider's words, "Even the simplest creature can transform into something extraordinary." Finally, he reached a tattered cocoon hanging from a branch, Shelby's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy cocoon with a frown guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Pip bravely inched forward, nudging Shelby with his tiny body. Confused and lonely, Shelby confessed. He yearned to protect caterpillars from the dangers of transformation and the unknown, but forgot the beauty of the process, the joy of becoming a butterfly, and the wonder of seeing the world with new eyes. Pip, using forgotten patterns woven into his own skin, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a beautiful butterfly with colorful wings soaring through a field of flowers, a symbol of the importance of transformation. Shelby, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Pip held Miss Spider's shimmering raindrop close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of magic. Forgotten memories of spinning cocoons, the transformation within, and the thrill of flight swirled around the caterpillars. Their fear melted away, replaced by a yearning to change and a desire to experience the wonder of becoming a butterfly. A gentle breeze rustled through the garden, whispering promises of colorful wings and sweet nectar. Miss Spider, watching from afar, saw plump caterpillars weaving their cocoons, their faces filled with anticipation. She knew Pip, the slow caterpillar, had found his purpose. Pip's slow crawl, though seemingly insignificant, became a symbol of the beauty found in taking your time. He learned that transformation wasn't about being the fastest, but about appreciating the journey, the wonder of change, and the joy of becoming something extraordinary, one determined inch at a time.
In a bustling library filled with towering bookshelves, lived a tiny dust bunny named Dustin. Unlike his fluffy friends who danced in sunbeams and tickled the noses of readers, Dustin was a flat, wispy speck, barely a whisper against the floorboards. He dreamt of joining their playful chases between bookends and becoming part of the stories whispered on the pages, but worried his insignificant form wouldn't be noticed. His best friend was Ms. Bookmark, a wise old bookmark with a frayed edge and a heart overflowing with stories read by curious children and the gentle turning of pages. Ms. Bookmark wasn't just any bookmark. She was the keeper of hidden stories, reminding everyone that even the smallest speck could play a part in a grand adventure. One particularly quiet afternoon, a heavy silence settled over the vibrant library. The usual symphony of rustling pages and excited whispers was replaced by an atmosphere of drooping book covers and forgotten adventures. Ms. Bookmark explained a grumpy old eraser named Ernie had arrived. Ernie, with a constantly grumpy frown and a rough texture, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of stories and the joy of getting lost in a world of adventure from all the readers. Left feeling uninspired and bored, they forgot the thrill of uncovering hidden secrets, the excitement of meeting magical creatures, and the sense of adventure that came with turning a new page. Dustin, though small and wispy, couldn't bear a world devoid of captivating stories and the joy of being whisked away on an adventure. He volunteered to find Ernie in the land of lost wonder. Ms. Bookmark, with a gentle fluttering of her frayed edge, gifted him a single shimmering strand of thread. It wasn't just any thread. It held the essence of 1,000 adventures, filled with brave heroes, treacherous journeys, and the breathtaking sight of a hidden world unfolding on a page. Armed with this special thread and a pouch Ms. Bookmark had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of confetti, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical story, Dustin embarked on his quiet adventure. He drifted slowly on air currents, his wispy form barely visible. He met children with glazed eyes and closed books. They spoke of a time when stories meant traveling to faraway lands, meeting courageous characters, and feeling their hearts race with excitement. Their faces were etched with a longing for the magic of storytelling again, the thrill of turning a page, and the wonder of getting lost in an adventure. Dustin, despite his invisibility, offered a hopeful flutter, remembering Ms. Bookmark's words. Even the smallest speck can play a part in a grand adventure. Finally, he reached a dusty corner, Ernie's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy eraser with a scowl guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Dustin bravely drifted forward, landing softly on Ernie's rough surface. Confused and lonely, Ernie confessed. He yearned to protect readers from the frustration of difficult words and confusing stories, but forgot the beauty of imagination, the joy of getting lost in another world, and the excitement of turning a new page. Dustin, using forgotten patterns formed by dust motes dancing in sunbeams, projected a tiny hand-drawn picture of a child reading a book, their face filled with wonder, a symbol of the magic stories hold. Ernie, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Dustin held Ms. Bookmark's shimmering strand of thread close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of excitement. Forgotten memories of brave heroes, thrilling journeys, and the wonder of new worlds swirled around the readers. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning for adventure and a desire to dive back into the magic of storytelling. A warm glow filled the library, whispering promises of hidden worlds and exciting characters. Ms. Bookmark, watching from afar, saw children opening books, their faces filled with anticipation. She knew Dustin, the wispy dust bunny, had found his purpose. Dustin's invisibility, though seemingly a weakness, became a symbol of the hidden magic that can exist in the most unexpected places. He learned that stories weren't about being the biggest or the most exciting, but about sparking imagination, whispering adventures in the quietest corners, and transporting readers to new worlds, one forgotten memory at a time. In a bustling bakery filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread, lived a tiny pinch of salt named Salty. Unlike his plump, round brothers destined for fluffy loaves and savory pastries, Salty was a single, sharp-edged crystal, barely a whisper against the counter. He dreamt of joining the grand creations, crusty baguettes and intricate pretzels, but worried his intensity would ruin the delicate balance of flavor in the baked goods. His best friend was Ms. Oven Mitt, a wise old oven mitt with a comforting warmth and a heart brimming with stories whispered by the crackling fire and the rhythmic clinking of mixing bowls. Ms. Oven Mitt wasn't just any oven mitt, she was the keeper of hidden flavors, reminding everyone that even the smallest ingredient could make a world of difference. One particularly quiet morning, a heavy silence settled over the vibrant bakery. The usual symphony of whisking flour and slamming doors was replaced by an atmosphere of bland pastries and tasteless loaves. Ms. Oven Mitt explained a grumpy old rolling pin named Roller had arrived. Roller, with a permanently furrowed brow and a monotonous voice, had stolen the ability to appreciate the complexity of flavors and the joy of creating a symphony of taste from all the bakers. Left feeling discouraged and uninspired, they forgot the dance of sweet and savory, the magic of transforming simple ingredients, and the sense of satisfaction that came with crafting something delicious. Salty, though small and sharp, couldn't bear a world devoid of the delightful flavors and the joy of creating something truly mouthwatering. He volunteered to find Roller in the land of lost wonder. Ms. Oven Mitt, with a gentle pat, gifted him a single, shimmering grain of sugar. It wasn't just any sugar, it held the essence of 1,000 baking journeys, filled with the tangy bite of cheese in savory rolls, the sweet surprise of hidden chocolate chips, and the breathtaking sight of a golden brown loaf emerging from the oven. Armed with this special grain and a pouch Ms. Oven Mitt had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of dried herbs, each one containing a forgotten memory of a flavorful creation, Salty embarked on his tiny adventure. He bounced slowly across the counter, a speck against the towering bowls. He met bakers with slumped shoulders and empty pastry bags. They spoke of a time when baking meant exploring unexpected tastes, finding the perfect balance of flavors, and witnessing the transformation of ingredients into a delightful treat. Their faces were etched with a longing for the magic of flavor combinations again, the warmth of the oven, and the joy of creating something that tantalized taste buds. Salty, despite his sharpness, offered a hopeful glint, remembering Ms. Oven Mitt's words, "Even the smallest ingredient can make a world of difference." Finally, he reached a dusty flour sack, Roller's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy rolling pin with a frown guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Salty bravely rolled forward, nudging Roller with his tiny edge. Confused and lonely, Roller confessed. He yearned to protect bakers from the dangers of overpowering flavors and creating unappetizing combinations, but forgot the beauty of experimenting with tastes, the joy of creating unique dishes, and the satisfaction of watching smiles bloom on faces as they savored a delicious creation. Salty, using forgotten patterns etched on his tiny crystal, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a beautifully decorated cake shared amongst friends, their faces filled with delight, a symbol of the joy baking brings. Roller, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Salty held Ms. Oven Mitt's shimmering grain of sugar close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of inspiration. Forgotten memories of sweet and savory combinations, the aroma of baking bread, and the sight of delighted customers swirled around the bakers. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning to experiment and a desire to share the joy of creating flavorful masterpieces. A delightful aroma filled the bakery, carrying the promise of exciting new recipes and happy customers. Ms. Oven Mitt, watching from afar, saw bakers bustling around, their faces filled with renewed passion. She knew Salty, the sharp pinch of salt, had found his purpose. Salt's sharp intensity, though seemingly a disadvantage, became a symbol of the importance of finding your place in the mix. He learned that baking wasn't about being the biggest or the sweetest, but about the art of adding just the right touch, the joy of creating a symphony of flavors, and the magic of making something truly delicious, one tiny crystal at a time. In a bustling city park filled with towering trees and playful children, lived a tiny acorn named Acornia. Unlike her plump, round sisters destined to grow into mighty oaks, Acornia was a misshapen, lopsided thing, with a crooked cap and a stubborn curl to her stem. She dreamt of joining the majestic trees, their branches reaching towards the sky, offering shade to weary travelers and sheltering playful squirrels. But worried her odd shape wouldn't allow her to grow tall and strong. Her best friend was Mr. Owl, a wise old owl with piercing yellow eyes and a heart overflowing with stories whispered by the rustling leaves and the hooting of other owls. Mr. Owl wasn't just any owl, he was the keeper of hidden potential, reminding everyone that even the smallest seed could hold the promise of something magnificent. One particularly gloomy afternoon, an unsettling silence settled over the vibrant park. The usual symphony of children's laughter and birdsong was replaced by an atmosphere of drooping flowers and neglected swings. Mr. Owl explained a grumpy old swing set named Creaky had arrived. Creaky, with a permanent frown and a rusty squeak, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of growth and the joy of witnessing life transform from a tiny seed to a magnificent tree from all the park's inhabitants. Left feeling discouraged and uninspired, they forgot the wonder of watching leaves unfurl, the strength it took to push through the soil, and the sense of accomplishment that came with witnessing your own growth. Acornia, though lopsided and odd-shaped, couldn't bear a world devoid of the towering trees and the quiet majesty of nature's growth cycle. She volunteered to find Creaky in the land of lost wonder. Mr. Owl, with a gentle dip of his head, gifted her a single, shimmering dewdrop. It wasn't just any dewdrop, it held the essence of 1,000 growing seasons, filled with the slow push of a tiny seed through the soil, the unfurling of vibrant leaves, and the breathtaking sight of a majestic oak reaching for the sky. Armed with this special dewdrop and a pouch Mr. Owl had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of fallen leaves, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical moment in nature's growth, Acornia embarked on her tiny adventure. She tumbled slowly through the air, her odd shape causing her to spin and twirl. She met squirrels with droopy tails and children with uninterested eyes. They spoke of a time when watching trees grow meant witnessing nature's wonder, noticing the changing seasons, and feeling a sense of awe at the towering giants that provided shade and shelter. Their faces were etched with a longing for the magic of growth again, the feeling of a sprout pushing through the earth, and the rustle of leaves in the breeze. Acornia, despite her lopsidedness, offered a hopeful wiggle, remembering Mr. Owl's words, "Even the smallest seed can hold the promise of something magnificent." Finally, she reached a rusted swing set with a grumpy squeak, creakus lair. Inside, a large, grumpy swing set with a scowl guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Acornia bravely rolled forward, nudging Creaky with her tiny body. Confused and lonely, Creaky confessed. He yearned to protect the park from the dangers of storms and falling branches, but forgot the beauty of growth, the joy of witnessing transformation, and the sense of peace that came with being part of a vibrant ecosystem. Acornia, using forgotten patterns etched on her rough shell, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a family picnicking under the shade of a majestic oak, a symbol of the importance of growth. Creaky, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Acornia held Mr. Owl's shimmering dewdrop close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of wonder. Forgotten memories of towering trees, sprouting seeds, and the changing seasons swirled around the park's inhabitants. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning to witness growth and a desire to appreciate the magic of nature's transformation. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, whispering promises of towering trees and playful squirrels. Mr. Owl, watching from afar, saw children pointing at the sky with excitement and families spreading blankets under the shade of existing trees. He knew Acornia, the lopsided acorn, had found her purpose. Acornia's odd shape, though seemingly a disadvantage, became a symbol of the potential held within even the most unexpected form. She learned that growth wasn't about being the straightest or the fastest, but about the quiet strength it took to push through challenges, the joy of witnessing transformation, and the magic of becoming something magnificent, one determined wiggle at a time.
In a bustling coral reef teeming with colorful fish, lived a tiny bioluminescent plankton named Pip. Unlike his flashy friends who illuminated the reef with their vibrant glow, Pip's light was a faint, flickering ember, barely a whisper against the ocean depths. He dreamt of joining their dazzling nighttime displays, mesmerizing predators and guiding lost creatures, but worried his insignificant glimmer wouldn't be noticed. His best friend was Ms. Seahorse, a wise old seahorse with a swaying body and a heart overflowing with stories whispered by the gentle current and the playful clicks of dolphins. Ms. Seahorse wasn't just any seahorse, she was the keeper of hidden light, reminding everyone that even the smallest spark could illuminate the darkest corners. One particularly gloomy day, an unsettling darkness settled over the vibrant coral reef. The usual symphony of clicking coral and bioluminescent displays was replaced by an atmosphere of trembling fish and shadowy corners. Ms. Seahorse explained a grumpy old anglerfish named Angler had arrived. Angler, with a constantly grumpy frown and a bioluminescent lure that never switched off, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of darkness and the quiet magic of bioluminescence from all the creatures. Left feeling fearful and anxious, they forgot the wonder of glowing plankton illuminating hidden caves, the mesmerizing dance of bioluminescent creatures, and the sense of peace that came with the gentle glow in the darkness. Pip, though faint and flickering, couldn't bear a world devoid of the mesmerizing bioluminescent displays and the quiet beauty of the darkness. He volunteered to find Angler in the land of lost wonder. Ms. Seahorse, with a gentle click of her tail, gifted him a single, shimmering pearl. It wasn't just any pearl, it held the essence of 1,000 moonlit nights, filled with the faint glow of bioluminescent plankton, the mesmerizing dance of glowing jellyfish, and the breathtaking sight of a bioluminescent shark gliding by. Armed with this special pearl and a pouch Ms. Seahorse had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of coral, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical moment of bioluminescence, Pip embarked on his gentle journey. He drifted slowly through the water, his faint glow barely visible. He met frightened fish hiding in crevices and shivering eels clinging to coral. They spoke of a time when darkness meant a canvas for bioluminescent creatures, a stage for a mesmerizing light show, and a feeling of wonder as they explored hidden depths. Their faces were etched with a longing for the beauty of glowing light again, the feeling of their own bioluminescence illuminating the water, and the serene peace of the nighttime ocean. Pip, despite his faint flicker, offered a hopeful pulse of light, remembering Ms. Seahorse's words, "Even the smallest spark can illuminate the darkest corners." Finally, he reached a dark cave, Angler's Lair. Inside, a large, grumpy anglerfish with a frown guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Pip bravely drifted forward, nuzzling Angler with his tiny body. Confused and lonely, Angler confessed. He yearned to protect creatures from the dangers lurking in the darkness, but forgot the beauty of bioluminescence, the mesmerizing dance of glowing life, and the sense of wonder that came with exploring the unseen depths. Pip, using forgotten patterns formed by bioluminescent plankton swirling together, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a group of different bioluminescent creatures glowing together in a dark cave, a symbol of the importance of light working together. Angler, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Pip held Ms. Seahorse's shimmering pearl close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of magic. Forgotten memories of hidden glowing creatures, mesmerizing light displays, and the beauty of the darkness filled the ocean. Their fear melted away, replaced by a yearning for the magic of bioluminescence and a desire to explore the unseen depths. A shaft of moonlight streamed through the water, whispering promises of hidden caves and glowing wonders. Ms. Seahorse, watching from afar, saw fish of all shapes and sizes glowing softly, illuminating the reef with a beautiful tapestry of light. She knew Pip, the faint glimmer, had found his purpose. Pip's faint light, though seemingly insignificant, became a symbol of the power of even the smallest spark to bring light and hope. He learned that illumination wasn't about being the brightest or the flashiest, but about sharing your light, no matter how weak, the joy of creating beauty in the darkness, and the magic of illuminating the unseen, one gentle pulse at a time.
In a bustling orchestra pit filled with vibrant instruments, lived a tiny tuning fork named Tilly. Unlike her proud siblings who resonated with powerful notes and filled the concert hall with melody, Tilly's sound was a single, high-pitched ping, barely a whisper against the grand instruments. She dreamt of joining the magnificent symphonies, her note blending with the others to create a masterpiece, but worried her solitary sound wouldn't contribute to the grand harmony. Her best friend was Mr. Conductor, a wise old conductor with a flowing white beard and a heart brimming with stories whispered by the rustling sheet music and the gentle hum of tuning instruments. Mr. Conductor wasn't just any conductor. He was the keeper of hidden melodies, reminding everyone that even the simplest sound could play a crucial role in the composition. One particularly quiet morning, a heavy silence settled over the vibrant orchestra pit. The usual symphony of soaring strings and booming brass was replaced by an atmosphere of dusty instruments and forgotten scores. Mr. Conductor explained a grumpy old metronome named Tick-Tock had arrived. Tick-Tock, with a permanently clicking tongue and a rigid demeanor, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of music and the joy of creating a harmonious blend from all the instruments. Left feeling discouraged and uninspired, they forgot the thrill of building a melody together, the precision of perfect timing, and the sense of accomplishment that came with performing a flawless piece. Tilly, though just a single note, couldn't bear a world devoid of captivating melodies and the joy of collaborating to create something beautiful. She volunteered to find Tick-Tock in the land of lost wonder. Mr. Conductor, with a gentle tap of his baton, gifted her a single shimmering tuning peg. It wasn't just any tuning peg. It held the essence of 1,000 symphonies, filled with the precise notes of violins, the deep thrum of cellos, and the breathtaking crescendo of a full orchestra. Armed with this special peg and a pouch Mr. Conductor had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of sheet music, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical musical moment, Tilly embarked on her quiet journey. She vibrated slowly across the stage, her single note barely audible. She met instruments with drooping strings and deflated horns. They spoke of a time when music meant collaborating to create something magical, each instrument playing its part, and the audience erupting in applause at the beautiful harmony. Their faces were etched with a longing for the joy of playing again, the feeling of their notes blending together, and the sense of unity that came with a flawless performance. Tilly, despite her solitary sound, offered a hopeful hum, remembering Mr. Conductor's words, "Even the simplest sound can play a crucial role in the composition." Finally, she reached a dusty corner, Tick-Tock's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy metronome with a frown guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Tilly bravely vibrated forward, nudging Tick-Tock with her tiny handle. Confused and lonely, Tick-Tock confessed. He yearned to protect the musicians from the frustration of missed notes and chaotic performances, but forgot the beauty of melody, the joy of collaborative creation, and the power of music to move hearts. Tilly, using forgotten symbols etched on her tines, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of an orchestra playing together, their instruments glowing with vibrant light, a symbol of the power of music. Tick-Tock, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Tilly held Mr. Conductor's shimmering tuning peg close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of inspiration. Forgotten memories of soaring melodies, precise timing, and the joy of playing together swirled around the instruments. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning to collaborate and a desire to create music once more. A soft melody filled the air, whispering promises of captivating symphonies and thunderous applause. Mr. Conductor, watching from afar, saw instruments gleaming under the stage lights, their music weaving a beautiful tapestry of sound. He knew Tilly, the single note, had found her purpose. Tilly's solitary sound, though seemingly insignificant, became a symbol of the importance of playing your part. She learned that music wasn't about being the loudest or the most complex, but about precise timing, the joy of collaborating with others, and the power of even the simplest note to contribute to a beautiful melody, one hopeful hum at a time.
In a bustling classroom filled with the murmur of curious minds, lived a tiny eraser crumb named Ernie. Unlike his clean, rectangular brothers destined to erase mistakes and create perfect pages, Ernie was a jagged, misshapen speck, barely a whisper against the wooden floor. He dreamt of joining the grand stories written on paper, his touch adding suspense or revealing hidden clues, but worried his messy form would only ever bring frustration. His best friend was Ms. Pencil, a wise old pencil with a worn tip and a heart brimming with stories whispered by the scratching lead and the rustling of turning pages. Ms. Pencil wasn't just any pencil, she was the keeper of hidden narratives, reminding everyone that even the smallest mark could shape a grand adventure. One particularly gloomy afternoon, a heavy silence settled over the vibrant classroom. The usual symphony of scratching pencils and excited chatter was replaced by an atmosphere of blank notebooks and forgotten stories. Miss Pencil explained a grumpy old pencil sharpener named Sharpie had arrived. Sharpie, with a permanently grinding wheel and a harsh metallic voice, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of stories and the joy of crafting a world with words from all the students. Left feeling uninspired and bored, they forgot the thrill of creating characters, the suspense of building a plot, and the satisfaction that came with seeing a story unfold on a page. Ernie, though small and jagged, couldn't bear a world devoid of captivating stories and the joy of getting lost in a world of imagination. He volunteered to find Sharpie in the land of lost wonder. Miss Pencil, with a gentle tap of her worn tip, gifted him a single, shimmering piece of graphite. It wasn't just any graphite, it held the essence of 1,000 stories, filled with daring heroes, heart-stopping moments, and the breathtaking sight of a new world coming to life on a blank page. Armed with this special piece and a pouch Ms. Pencil had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of colorful confetti, each containing a forgotten memory of a magical story element, Ernie embarked on his quiet adventure. He bounced slowly across the floor, his jagged form barely noticeable. He met students with glazed eyes and closed notebooks. They spoke of a time when stories meant traveling to fantastical lands, befriending courageous characters, and feeling their hearts race with excitement. Their faces were etched with a longing for the magic of storytelling again, the thrill of turning a page, and the satisfaction of creating their own narratives. Ernie, despite his messiness, offered a hopeful smear, remembering Ms. Pencil's words, "Even the smallest mark can shape a grand adventure." Finally, he reached a dusty drawer, Sharpie's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy pencil sharpener with a frown guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Ernie bravely rolled forward, nudging Sharpie with his tiny edge. Confused and lonely, Sharpie confessed. He yearned to protect students from the frustration of messy writing and misspelled words, but forgot the beauty of imagination, the joy of creating something new, and the magic of a story taking you on an adventure. Ernie, using forgotten patterns formed by eraser dust swirling in the air, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a child lost in a book, their face filled with wonder, a symbol of the power of stories. Sharpie, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Ernie held Ms. Pencil's shimmering piece of graphite close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of excitement. Forgotten memories of brave heroes, thrilling twists, and the joy of creating new worlds swirled around the students. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning to write and a desire to explore the endless possibilities of storytelling. A flurry of excited whispers filled the classroom, promising tales of adventure and wonder. Ms. Pencil, watching from afar, saw students scribbling in their notebooks, their faces filled with renewed creativity. She knew Ernie, the jagged eraser crumb, had found his purpose. Ernie's messiness, though seemingly a disadvantage, became a symbol of the importance of taking risks and allowing your imagination to run wild. He learned that stories weren't about being the neatest or the most perfect, but about the joy of creation, the thrill of the unexpected twist, and the power of even the smallest mark to spark a world of imagination, one hopeful smear at a time.
In a bustling art studio filled with vibrant colors and whimsical creations, lived a tiny dot of dried paint named Dwayne. Unlike his bold, round siblings destined to fill canvases with masterpieces, Dwayne was a dull, flaky speck, barely a whisper against the wooden floor. He dreamt of joining the colorful explosions on the canvas, his touch adding a playful detail or unexpected burst of color, but worried his insignificance would go unnoticed. His best friend was Ms. Brush, a wise old brush with a frayed tip and a heart overflowing with stories whispered by the swirling paints and the gentle scratching of pencils. Ms. Brush wasn't just any brush. She was the keeper of hidden inspiration, reminding everyone that even the smallest speck could spark a creative masterpiece. One particularly quiet morning, a heavy stillness settled over the vibrant art studio. The usual symphony of chattering artists and slapping brushes was replaced by an atmosphere of empty palettes and blank canvases. Ms. Brush explained a grumpy old paintbrush washer named Washer had arrived. Washer, with a permanently grumpy frown and a monotonous swish, had stolen the ability to appreciate the beauty of creation and the joy of transforming a blank canvas into a world of color from all the artists. Left feeling discouraged and uninspired, they forgot the thrill of experimenting with colors, the magic of watching a blank canvas come alive, and the sense of accomplishment that came with creating something unique. Dwayne, though small and dull, couldn't bear a world devoid of captivating art and the joy of losing oneself in the creative process. He volunteered to find Washer in the land of lost wonder. Ms. Brush, with a gentle stroke of her frayed tip, gifted him a single shimmering speck of gold paint. It wasn't just any gold paint. It held the essence of 1,000 masterpieces, filled with swirling colors, playful brushstrokes, and the breathtaking sight of a blank canvas transforming into a vibrant world. Armed with this special speck and a pouch Ms. Brush had prepared, filled with shimmering bits of dried paint flakes, each one containing a forgotten memory of a magical artistic technique, Dwayne embarked on his quiet adventure. He tumbled slowly across the floor, a speck against the towering easels. He met artists with slumped shoulders and empty paint tubes. They spoke of a time when art meant creating something new, exploring emotions through color, and feeling a sense of wonder as their imaginations spilled onto the canvas. Their faces were etched with a longing for the joy of experimentation again, the thrill of the first brushstroke, and the satisfaction of seeing their vision come to life. Dwayne, despite his dullness, offered a hopeful flicker, remembering Ms. Brush's words, "Even the smallest speck can spark a creative masterpiece." Finally, he reached a rusty bucket washer's lair. Inside, a large, grumpy brush washer with a scowl guarded a collection of stolen wonders trapped in shimmering bubbles. Dwayne bravely bounced forward, landing softly on Washer's bristles. Confused and lonely, Washer confessed. He yearned to protect artists from the frustration of messy creations and wasted paint, but forgot the beauty of exploration, the joy of creating something new, and the freedom of self-expression that came with art. Dwayne, using forgotten patterns formed by dried paint flakes swirling in the air, projected a tiny, hand-drawn picture of a group of artists painting together, their faces filled with passion and their canvases bursting with color, a symbol of the joy of creating together. Washer, touched by the memory, released all the stolen wonders. Dwayne held Ms. Brush's shimmering speck of gold paint close, its essence filling the land of lost wonder with a renewed sense of inspiration. Forgotten memories of vibrant colors, playful experimentation, and the joy of creation swirled around the artists. Their discouragement melted away, replaced by a yearning to create and a desire to explore the endless possibilities of art. A symphony of excited chatter filled the studio, promising a kaleidoscope of colors and imaginative visions. Ms. Brush, watching from afar, saw artists dipping their brushes in paint, their faces beaming with renewed creativity. She knew Dwayne, the dull dot of paint, had found his purpose. Dwayne's insignificance, though seemingly a weakness, became a symbol of the importance of embracing the unexpected. He learned that art wasn't about being the brightest or the most perfect, but about the joy of exploration, the freedom to experiment, and the power of even the smallest speck to spark a masterpiece, one hopeful flicker at a time.